Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to take a look at the Paul Rubens Classical Artist Gucai metallic paints. That's a mouthful, isn't it? The Paul Rubens company reached out to me and asked if I would like to review these paints, and I've been very pleased with all the products I've both received from Paul Rubens and I've purchased from Paul Rubens, and I'm always just curious to see what they come out with next, because not only do they create beautiful paints, they actually use really nice packaging, and I just find the quality for money to be really high. So this is what the box looks like. Now, I've got a little bit of a qualm, not with Paul Rubens, but with Amazon, because lately I've noticed that their products are arriving in bubble mailers. And because like these are shipped from Amazon. And I've noticed that with these, and then another company's like colored pencils, like the edges, like the corners being dinged up. It doesn't affect the stuff on the inside, but that's something I did notice with this, that there are some, like the corners are just kind of bashed a little bit. But luckily the packaging is nice and sturdy, and it protects the stuff inside, but it would be kind of a bummer if you were ordering this as a gift for somebody. The box is beautiful. You've got this almost like this fabric print that's been printed on the black. Your printing is on gold, is gold leaf, which is kind of pretty, or gold foil. And it says, classical art, I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Well, that's true. I'm always telling people, you know, it's great to watch tutorials and read books, but you got to actually put brush to paper in order to do anything. Then we've got a couple QR codes, and we've got just a little 36 thing there, some stuff in Chinese. The email address Iowan at lbsarts.com. This is their, Iowan is the company that makes all the Paul Rubens and Mei Liang watercolors. So let's take a look. And here we have a beautiful tray of colors. Each of the, I can't wait to swatch that silver. Doesn't that look like it's going to be just like super duper shiny? They've got a beautiful embossed design in each of the pans. And they look almost a little more matte on the surface than, say, the regular metallic. So I've got the metallic set of 48 here. Now, I've got to be completely honest, I use a 24 set generally. This set is, it's beautiful, but I find the 24 set to really be kind of the best bang for your buck. I just want to mention that in case, I know it's so nice to have all the colors, but I'm going to bring this out today just because I want to compare colors as we swatch them. But if you look at the surface here versus the surface there, it does seem like the, I don't know if you can tell on camera, it does seem like the colors here are a little bit shinier than the colors there. But they are a different formulation, so it will be really interesting to see how they compare. This one you can see is barely used, because the one I always use I keep in the drawer right next to me, because I love to grab this for accents and stuff. So this one's my more used up one. And honestly, when people ask me what I recommend the 24 set, just because it's got such a great assortment of colors, and it takes up very little space, and it's like half the price because it's a smaller set. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to compare these and see how they compare. And another thing I wanted to compare them to, and again, I have the palette I use, and the palette that's kind of for show, or that I haven't gotten into yet. But these pans are the same size as the gansai Tambi pans, I do believe. So this is my working set, and I took it out of, because it came in a tray kind of like this, and I took it out of that and put it in a tin so I could actually have mixing space and stuff. So that's what I would recommend if you find yourself with a beautiful, precious product that you don't use because there's no mixing space or whatnot. Try to transfer it to something else. So I think these are about the same size. Yeah, they are exactly the same size. So that's cool. The numbers are printed on the bottom, so maybe they offer open stock. It wouldn't surprise me if they offer open stock, and maybe we just don't have it here yet. But and this is what, like a gansai Tambi. I bought this as a treat to myself after I finished Inktober this year. This is what the gansai Tambi, they come in a tray like that as well. So same size, if you're familiar with those. They're kind of nice because you can put bigger brushes in them. Let's take a look at one of these where we can see the embossing really well. Hopefully the camera will focus. Maybe it'll focus on it if I do that. Can you see the little pattern there? I will put a link to the Amazon listing so you can get a really close-up look at all of their photos. Now you can see that it's not like, it's probably about half full. I would say, even though this is a huge pan, it's probably about the same amount of paint as you would get in one of the half pans that they sell in the other metallic set. I want to spray this, but hopefully, I wonder if I could take out these dividers. I just don't want, yeah, I guess I'll just spray it. I didn't want to get the paper wet, but it says to pre-activate them. Now I'm trying to think, where did I see that it says to pre-activate them? I'm sure I saw it somewhere. Is there paper with that? I'm pretty sure it said somewhere that you were to pre-activate them with water. Maybe that was on the website. Well, we've pre-activated them anyway. And I've got some white paper, and I've also got a black sketchbook here that my friend Rosie made. And we'll swatch it. I don't know if we'll do all of them on camera because I'm sure that'd be pretty... Oh, that was a painting that Rosie did. Isn't that cute? Because I don't want to... I don't know. I don't want this to take a million years. We'll do a couple. You know what? I really want to do that silver. I'm going to try to like figure out exactly where it would go. So yeah, your embossing is going to wear away really fast. I don't know if I should let this sit more. Ooh, that's pretty. Am I going to be able to fit 36? I think so. I think I'll be able to. Of course, you won't really be able to see exactly how it looks until, you know, until it's all dry. Oh, this one really activated well. Oh, that's pretty. I guess you don't need them to activate for too long. This is my total random swatching. I'm starting in the middle. Of course, that one doesn't show up too much for you guys. I'm so disorganized. I need to turn this paper like this. Let me start here on this. And oh my gosh, that one's really... Oh, that's so pretty. That looks like one of the ones from the other set. Yeah, let me catch up here. Look at that. It's like a beautiful wine color. They also have another line of paints here from this set that's in tubes, and Kimberly Crick actually did a review of both of these paints on her YouTube channel. I feel like I want to do another little swap of that because I don't think I got enough on that first go. So she's got a really in-depth review on those. The tube paints are like have like that animal hide binder. It's more of a traditional paint. So if you're curious about those, go check out her video. I have no intention on getting those. This one looks like it might be a duochrome. It looks kind of like it's black and green. If like, I'm sorry, it looks like it's brown and green. I'm not seeing the brown so much on the black, but on the white paper, or maybe like bronze. Can you see that? It kind of looks like bronze and green together. That might be kind of interesting for some effects. Man, that purple, look at the difference of the purple on the black versus the purple on the white. That's something I kind of find fun about metallic watercolors, is how they look so different on different papers. And now we are to this one. Oh, this is going to work out. This is going to work out really well, I think. The water has really absorbed into the paper. Oh, that's a pretty color. These are actually a little shinier than I thought they would be. The surface of them reminded me of the Niji watercolors, which are a good bargain metallic set. They're like cheap. It's like, there's not much paint in them, but it's like $6 or $10 depending on the size you get. But the problem that I had with the Niji paints was that, let's see, that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The issue I had with the Niji paints was that, ooh, that one's nice, was that they would get kind of, I had some colors that got moldy, and I don't know if they were using like, if it was, maybe they were using like animal-based glue, or maybe they were using fish scales for the shininess. I don't know, but it was like, I would get little specks of mildew on them, and I've never had that happen with my other metallic paints, so it must be something with the glue or the binder. And you know, with the surface looking similar, I mean, oh, that's pretty. That could be the case. I might rearrange these so they're in rainbow order. I probably should have done, but then again, if I do that, then I won't have them. I probably shouldn't, because they are all labeled there. Ooh, so pretty. They're really so pretty on black. Do you guys remember the twinkling H2Os? Those watercolors? they're so pretty on white. They're not so hot on black though. They're not very opaque, but those were all the rage. Oh, so that gold is gorgeous. All right, I am pleasantly surprised with how vibrant these are. I was expecting them to be a little more dull just because the presentation of the box looked a little more dull. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, and you can fast forward if you don't want to see all this. Well, I'm going to carry on with the bottom row. I'm wondering if I should, like, spray them again. No, they're activating just fine. I'm loving that wine color there. I think these are going to be completely different on black or on white, but I think some of these are concentrated enough that I could actually use them as watercolors. Generally with metallics, they're kind of like really nice for accents or for just kind of like adding a special effect. Like maybe you're painting something and you've got a really dark area. Like let's say you're painting a bird and you've got this like a black crow or a grackle or something like that. And then you go in and you add some of the metallics to be like the iridescent. Oh wow, that's got like a green and purple together. That's pretty. I almost want to put all the duochromes together. That's green and purple in the same paint. That's really pretty. So that's how I tend to use them, but I'm thinking that these I might actually be able to use on white paper and get some cool effects. I don't know if I would do just the metallics. I might have to do some traditional colors as well, but I think they might actually be a little more versatile. Look how different those look. That looks like gold on the black, and it looks like aqua, like turquoisey teal color on the white. Can you see that? That's pretty. I'm actually a little bit more impressed than I thought I would be with these. You know, because a specialty paint, it's not something you use all the time. Oh my gosh, look at that ruby. That's gorgeous. I have no idea what the color names are. I'm just going to make them up. This one has like bronze undertones. These would probably be really pretty in like backgrounds for like card makers and art journalers and things like that, because it almost has that look of the, do you remember the old Tattered Angels? I don't think that company's still in business anymore, but that company, Tattered Angels, used to make that glimmer mist. Oh wow, look at that. So opaque, so gorgeous. Their golds are really nice. That's what this reminds me of. Some of those colors, they remind me of like the glimmer mist, and it almost looks like they might granulate a little bit. It's probably the mica, you know, but still, like the texture in that one, the texture in that one, and the texture in that one, all those duochrome colors, I think could be really useful and fun to throw into a regular painting. Now, I don't know if she's done it already. Kimberly mentioned doing a light fast test, I think, of these. I always recommend her reviews for watercolor products. So if you're ever on the fence of something, maybe you've seen a review of mine and you're not sure, she usually hunts down all the new stuff too. So, if you're not sure, you know, definitely go watch her reviews and see what you think, because it's always good to have a second opinion, just like with anything. Oh, that's pretty. Just like if you're going to the car mechanic and, you know, thinking about getting something expensive done, it doesn't hurt to go see another car mechanic and make sure it's, you know, really what you need to do. But, now that one's not so impressive on black. It's not so impressive on white either, but I think it might have some interesting texture that I could exploit in a painting where I wanted some granulation. Well, just kind of wimpy. Pretty though. Okay, so let's continue on. I'm just going to scoot that. How should I do this? I want to keep things in frame. I think we can do our next row like that, and then I might have to let things dry. Anybody still there? You can see like the water is already absorbed, and I'm wondering, let's start on this one this time. Ooh, that shows up good on the black. It's very satisfying to paint with these. Lost my train of thought. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes it's fun to swatch things. That's a fun thing to do, like if you're stuck, you don't have any ideas. Just swatch a product, swatch a palette that you haven't used in a long time. Or if you've got something new and you don't know what to paint with it, swatch it. I find watercolors really benefit from swatching, so you can learn a lot about the paints. I don't I mean, actually any material will. Oh, that one's more glittery. Some of these look more pearly and some look more glittery. That one's got kind of like a little bit more of a glitter to it. It's a little more sheer. That would be nice to go over like fairy wings or something. My rinse water looks cool because it's all swirly metallic. Reminds me of like some shampoo I used to use when I was a kid, and I always hoped it would make my hair blonde because it was like, I have something from Avon, I think. I need more water. But it had like this golden color to it, and I always hoped that if I washed my hair with it, my hair would turn that golden honey blonde. That one's got kind of that glittery effect as well. More so than a pearly effect. That one? Guess not. That one also has, I see, it seems like this row is more like shimmer, more of like a glittery versus a pearl. Glittery. Yeah, it's more glittery than pearly, I would say. Oh, it's got this brown color. I kind of wonder what that's going to look like. Oh, that's really rich on the black. Oh, it's really nice on the white too. Wait a minute, I gotta fit 3 more colors in there. I guess that's better when I work right to left. I run out of space the other way. Oh, that's pretty. It's like mermaid scale blue. Ooh, I don't want to waste any of that. That's pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous blue? All right. Some people say that the swatching videos are super relaxing. So, to all of you that have already fallen asleep, I hope you have sweet dreams. That's a really, those 2 colors, man. Take a look at those on the black. Aren't those really gorgeous? I'm trying to hold it like not from glaring on the lights too much. And then we've got one more in this row. It kind of looks like a bronze, but don't really know until we paint it. I'll stick swatches in the. I'll tape this one to the lid of my box just so I have that. Ooh, that's really pretty. It's kind of similar to that brown there. Let's look at the numbers actually. Make sure we didn't get duplicates. This one says 411. This one says 430. And actually, it doesn't... Oh yeah, the numbers are above them. Okay, I was going to say the numbers don't seem to match, but they do. They're above them. So they're similar, but different. Okay, we got one more row left. How are we going to do this? Maybe like that? Just scooch that down. Hopefully not get it all over myself. If I do get it on this shirt, that's fine, because that's my lipstick explosion shirt. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. I left a tube of lipstick in it last time I wore it, and it like covered all of my laundry. This one's pretty sheer. It's pretty on the white though. That'd be a pretty flower, like a cherry blossom or something. So these are meant to sit on rice paper. They're more of a traditional watercolor, more of a traditional Chinese or sumi-e type paint that you would use on an unsized paper. So if say you have like black pastel paper or a black sketchbook, these will perform probably a little bit better for you than like the traditional metallic or the like half pans of metallic watercolor that are meant to be a little bit more Western. So if you are a black sketchbook user, you may prefer this. I'm using black watercolor paper here, so it doesn't really matter. I could use either. That looks way more green on the black and way more yellow on the white. Making sure that's all showing up. And we've got this, this one's a little tricky. Doesn't want to rewet quite as well. It's kind of like it's very sheer. More of a glitter than a pearl. The pearl colors are more opaque. It's pretty on the white. I think it's kind of wimpy on the black. But it's kind of pretty. I could see taking like maybe like 2 of these pans and then setting them on my regular watercolor palette so I could just kind of sprinkle it in a little bit. I don't know if I would use all the metallics. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look how bright that is. This is that one's very, very bold and reflective. It's red. Oh, that's really pretty. It's almost like a watermelon red. Very neutral. It looks like it might granulate a bit too. So that would be kind of fun to find some like interesting textures, like not just the shimmer, but some actual interesting textures, because it's so fun to have some granulating effects. But if you had a background that had a little bit of shine, wow, that orange is super vibrant. To have a background that had some cool shine to it, I think would be really interesting in a watercolor painting. And like I said, if you're curious about the light fastness, I'm pretty sure Kimberly Crick said she was going to do a light fast test on these. And you can take whatever she says to the bank. In my opinion, she knows her stuff. I live very far from the equator, so I'm generally not too worried about sun fading. That pearl is nice and opaque. And it's probably not going to show up really on the white other than just to add some shine. All right, so what I'm going to do is let these dry, and then we'll take a look at these after they've all set up. Hello, future Lindsay popping in. I took a few days off because I got sick. And I'm back here. I just wanted to show you how a little painting on some black watercolor paper did with these paints. I really think they showed up well, activated very easily, activated more easily than the Paul Rubens one. And I do intend on adding a little black ink like for the details in the face. And then this here, I wanted to show you, it was a landscape. I don't want to take the tape off quite yet, but I do want to show you the beautiful texture in this paint. I think if this was mixed with the traditional watercolor, we'd actually get some beautiful granulation and almost kind of like the new Supervision layered paints with mica. I think it'd be a great way to mimic that by having a little bit more of a versatile product. So actually, I mean, you could try that with whatever metallic paints you have already, mix them with some regular paints and see how they mix and whatnot. But I just wanted to stop and show you this before I went in and added some black. Like brush pen work. Now I'm recording these demos, so I could post those as tutorials. If anybody's interested, let me know in the comments below. If they're not already up on my channel, and if there is interest, then I can do that. You see, it looks quite a bit different when we tip it away from the light. They're more reflective than honestly I thought they were going to be looking at these pans. I also think, because these reactivate so much easily, I'm already seeing dents in here. These are going to get used up a lot faster than, say, the Paul Rubens metallics. These are Paul Rubens, but like, you know, the half pan metallics. So I just wanted to also mention that. But when I come back, we'll compare the half pan swatches with these swatches so you can see how they differ and if it's something that, you know, one or the other might be useful for you, or you're like, what I have is already fine. That's what these reviews are here for, not to get you to buy stuff, to kind of show you what's out there to see if it will be right for you. So I'm going to do my little black ink before I still have it in my mind to do it. And when we come back, I'm going to compare, and we can wrap up the video. And that way you won't have to listen to me talk with a scratchy voice for too long. Okay, I'm going to try to get through the rest of this review. This is how the chicken came out. I really like how it came out with a little bit of black ink on the face. I don't know how practical this is for a fine art application, because generally you would frame and matte work on paper behind glass, but for a greeting card or something that's going to be handled, I think it would be really fun and really effective. I think you could lose a lot of the metallic ability or effect if it was behind glass. This one I wasn't so impressed with once I added the black ink, but I was just experimenting, and it's not a medium that I'm very proficient in, so, you know, somebody that was more accustomed to using black ink would probably do a better job. This is just like the Black Cat ink from Dick Blick in a water brush, plus a Derwent water brush and another brand water brush. It came in like a subscription box. So, I mean, it's okay. I thought it was more impressive with just the metallic on its own, probably because the metallic should go on top, but I was just experimenting there. So overall, I really like the paint. I like it better to paint with, as far as like being able to get a big brush in there. I actually was surprised at how similar I thought the quality was to the half pans. The half pans don't wear down quite as quickly though. They are much more dense, where these just reactivate a lot faster. So definitely more, I would say this would be more for like calligraphy or adding a little bit of fine, like a little bit of a touch of gold glit here and there, or gilt on a project. And but I think for the amount of paint you get, I bet a half pan has the same amount of pigment as you do in one of these big pans. They're just less dense and also thinner. It's a thinner amount of paint. So I wanted to compare the swatches, the dried swatches. So this big swatch here is a Paul Rubens 48 set. And this one here, obviously, is the new set. I'm really surprised at how well some of these colors show up on the white paper. I didn't expect to see as much metallic. I still think, like, when I compare color to color that is similar, I still think that the half pans are a little bit shinier. But it does appear that a lot of these colors are represented in both sets. And I don't think the quality difference is that astounding that you would need to have both. If like one, like if it was more convenient for you to have the smaller pans, or it was more convenient for you to have the larger pans. So if I fold this here, we'll compare it to the black too. It's probably a little overkill, all this comparing, but I really think it's important to help people get the right set so you don't end up buying 5 sets because you think that, you know, because you're not satisfied with what you bought, you know what I mean? I think we have comparable colors. I don't see anything that's unique to the 36 set. Even some of the colors that I thought were quite unusual, like this one right here, this kind of like purple and green. That one looks very similar there. Like this one right here looks quite similar. Actually, might have a little bit more of a green shift on the Gucai version. The Guacais are, I think they're a little bit more affordable. Let's see, the set of 36 was, I think, around $45, and a set of 48 I think is around $80 or $90, so I think that's a little bit more affordable. And of course you could just take a couple pans out to have on your workspace. And one thing I thought is an advantage actually of this would be if you were an art teacher and you wanted to just bring some special effects paints in for your students to use, then you could like take all the pans out and you could scatter them, you know, you could have one set and you could scatter them around and have like a red, yellow, and blue on each table or whatever, and the kids could share. Or, you know, even adult students and stuff. That way you could kind of like, they could swap them around and you could get a very similar, you know, a very, I don't know, easy to share format. There's a lot of reds in the 48 set. If you love your reds, you might prefer that. But it really just depends on the format that you like. Like I said, I use the 24 set the most. That one is I feel like such a really great variety of color, and that the 24 set would be similar in price to this 48 set. So if you're just buying it for yourself as an artist or a crafter or a calligraphy or a planner or a scrapbooker, any of those hobbyists, the 48 set, and it's just you and you're not teaching a class and you're not sharing with friends, that would probably be my recommendation. But I do like having these large pans. However, I don't tend to, if I'm doing a painting, I don't tend to use watercolor, the metallic watercolors in like a painting. However, mixing some of these with some colors to get some interesting granulating or layering effects would be fun. So, I don't know. You know what you like to do. These reactivate a little bit faster. I didn't find the sheen to be all that different. So, if you're trying to find the shiniest thing, like this silver, actually, that crazy silver right there looks like this crazy silver right here. So except, is that one more opaque? I gotta double check that. Because it seems like that one might be a little more opaque in this set. Which, if you like to work on black watercolor paper, that could definitely be a bonus. Yeah, this silver is more opaque than the silver here, but this one almost has a little bit more shine to it. But if I look on the white, that's still really shiny. So, I mean, they're very similar. I think the formulation is slightly different. I didn't notice any smell, but then again, I am I didn't realize when I started this review that I was coming down with something, so maybe my sense of smell is off. But I don't smell anything from either of the sets of paints, to be honest. But there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope this has been a thorough enough first look, unboxing, and also review so that you get a good idea whether these are right for you or not. They're very pretty, and they're the same size as the other gansai sets, so if you like to have everything that size, it's definitely definitely worth a consideration. They're very light. They're very light feeling. They feel like kind of nothing, almost like a gold leaf. they're super light, but there you have it. I hope you found this useful, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'll link to everything in the video description. Just to reiterate, these were sent to me for free to review, and the links in the video description are affiliate links, so I do earn a small commission on that without costing any extra to you, but I just want to let you know that you may feel that I have incentive to promote these better than they are. I want you to have all the information so you can make accurate decisions for yourself. I don't think I'm biased in that way, but that's, I just want you to know. So anyway, without further ado, this has gone on long enough. Oh my word, how many years ago did this video start? I don't know. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.